passing of my grandfather, which led me down the path of researching the topics relating to death. And in my research, I realized that we should care about the way we're buried, because when the time comes, we may have very limited options left. A typical American funeral usually involves an expensive coffin, lots of flowers, the embalming of the deceased, and also other costly add-ons. The other alternative is cremation. However, we cannot continue these practices forever, and here are 3 reasons why. 1, we are running out of open spaces in Toronto and other major cities. Ontario planners speculate that our city cemeteries will be completely filled in the next 5 to 10 years. 2, it's going to get expensive. A typical burial plot in Toronto costs around $5,000. There is a growing demand as our population increases and ages, and burial plots are just going to become more and more expensive. 3, our practices are not very environmentally friendly. Every year, we bury tons of steel and concrete into the ground, and we bury over 6 Olympic-sized swimming pools full of toxic embalming chemicals. There is also the use of fertilizers and pesticides in the upkeep of our current cemeteries. And while some may think that cremation is more environmentally friendly, it is not. In North America, we use enough fossil fuel in cremation every year to drive us halfway to the sun. And despite all of these facts, local authorities in our cities are reluctant to set aside land for new cemeteries. This is because they are tax exempt, and also because a cemetery is a permanent commitment. Residential and commercial uses are just far more profitable. It is time to rethink our burial practices in Ontario. Instead of creating new cemeteries in urban and suburban areas, I want to encourage consumers and planners to consider implementing natural burials in conservation areas, such as the Greenbelt and the Niagara Escarpment. Not only will this allow us to bury our loved ones with minimal environmental impact, this could also be a way for us to permanently preserve our existing greenland for future generations. Can we ask ourselves this? Can our cemetery landscape look a little less like rows and rows of headstones and a little bit more like this? Thank you.